Wow, so I just found out that I was muted the whole time. Well, I'm glad we have some folks watching and were able to let me know. You know, we're still trying to go through the buttons and whistles of doing this, but I'm so glad that you all decided to join in and check in here for Wellness Wednesday. Practice the pause with Phil. And you might have seen my lips moving, and might not understood what I was saying, but I was saying I'd like to stay true to the name here with practicing the pause with Phil, and for us to do that, you know, I think it's important for us just to take a moment or two and just relax and be in the moment, be aware of the moment. You know, there's so much stress that we can be under sometimes, and it's good just to pause. And so let's do that together with pausing together. We can do that by being mindful of our breath, being mindful of our surroundings, our environment. And so I hope that you have a good environment that you're in, that you feel safe and you're able to relax. And so let us just do that together. Let's just take a moment or two and breathe in, being mindful of our breath, and then letting go of any frustration or any stress that you may feel. Breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Just being mindful of your breath. You know, I found that it really helps me. If I'm uh, under any stress or anxiety or just to rebalance my day. You know, a lot of times we can kind of feel like we're out of balance, and sometimes it's just good to stop and pause and then practice that pause and breathe in and breathe out. And what's so cool about that breathing technique is we can do it anywhere. So you know, whether you're at work or wherever you might be, maybe you're at the house and the kids are all going chaotic or whatever. You know, as long as they're safe, you can practice that pause, and breathe in. It's good to do. And so I'm thankful that you all are here and that you want to find out more about wellness. You know, I started researching wellness. It's been a couple months now, and I found out there's a lot of things about wellness I just didn't know. So I'm hoping that you'll take this journey here into wellness, and we can find out a little bit more together. And so, after practicing the pause, which I think is good to do, it's a good way to start anything. Uh, let's look at this. What does wellness mean? Let's look at this journey. Uh, I've entitled it "A Journey to a Healthier You." A journey to a healthier you. What that means to me is that there's some things about my life that I'd like to change. And you know, a lot of times we look at the New Year's and New Year's resolutions, and sometimes we can make those goals so big and so broad, and we don't get off to a good start. And so maybe this will help you with this new year, to maybe look at some things that maybe you'd like to change, and I hope I can be a part of that, and we can do that together. And so the goal of this course, this class, whatever you'd like to call it, is to educate us. You know, it's going to bring some information about wellness to us, and like we do there at the Recovery Center, we have this 8 dimensions of wellness. That's SAMHSA's 8 dimensions of wellness. And so, what I found out about wellness is it's a holistic perspective. It looks at all of our humanness, our 8 dimensions of wellness. And so that could be emotional, emotional wellness, financial wellness, social wellness, spiritual wellness, occupational wellness, physical wellness, intellectual wellness, and environmental. And let me just give you an example. You know, I was chairing a meeting earlier, and I told the folks there that I didn't sleep well last night. I didn't sleep well. You know, a lot of times we can say that. You might have heard somebody say that before. I just didn't sleep well. What does that mean? Well, I woke up at midnight. Well, a little bit after midnight, 3 a.m. Because I had this restless and active mind. And so what I did, which I did the wrong thing, I got on my phone. You know, you've probably heard that the light affects your sleep. And so I didn't choose wisely. You know, I got on the phone, and that probably kept me up a little bit longer than I wanted to do. And so when I woke up with a headache. And so, because of my disturbed sleep, and I want you to see how everything is interrelated. Because of my disturbed sleep, which is physical wellness, it led to a headache, a pain, which is also physical wellness, which then could affect my mood, my emotional wellness, which then, if I was get around others, I might be irritable or discontent. Well, then my interactions with others, my social wellness might be affected. And then maybe the way that I thought during the day, my thinking process, because I didn't sleep well. Maybe I had trouble thinking, and then could affect my performance at work. So my intellectual wellness could affect my vocational wellness, and then that could lead to financial strain, my financial wellness. So you see how all these things are interrelated, and that's really what wellness looks at. It looks at a holistic perspective of wellness and the things we can do to increase our wellness. And so that's one of the things that we want to do here is we want to really look at this holistic perspective of wellness and educate ourselves so we can be better equipped and make better decisions and ultimately feel better about ourselves. Everybody, I think, wants to feel better. And so, wellness is one of the greatest and most powerful words in the English language. But unfortunately, it's also one of the least understood. And when I was doing research, that's one of the things that I noticed about myself, about my own understanding, is that I just didn't really have this grasp of what wellness really means. And so I'm hoping that this course, this journey we're going to take together, will help us understand a little bit more about what wellness really is. And so we should start putting this word into our vocabulary and its concepts into our lives. One writer writes that wellness is one of the most important ideas of our time. One of the most important ideas of our time. And so physical well-being depends on how well we care for ourselves, and this is at the heart of wellness. It's self-care and responsibility, and that's so empowering. When I find that, hey, I'm in charge of my own wellness. I'm in charge. I'm responsible. I'm responsible for my own self-care, and it's based on the truth that we as individuals make the single most powerful contribution to our health and well-being. It's not the doctor. It's not prescription medicines. It's up to us. We have the power. That's where the power lies. It's in us, and that's so true even with recovery. You know, I found out through my recovery journey that through my sobriety that my sponsor couldn't walk the walk for me. It was up to me. I had to do the work. As helpful as a sponsor is, my family couldn't work my recovery for me. It's up to me. And so sobriety and recovery is ultimately up to me. That's that self responsibility that wellness teaches. It's a universal law of personal accountability that I'm responsible. And so that's, like I said, that's one of the universal laws of wellness that we'll look at. And here's the objective and the outline of what this class, this group offers. Like I said, this is just breathe. It's practicing the pause with Phil, and that's one of the tools that we can use for wellness is to still ourselves and practice awareness. And this is the course, the goals, objective. It's to educate us about the 8 dimensions of wellness and enhance our own personal sense of wellness. And so this series focuses on one dimension each month. We've talked about some of the dimensions: emotional, financial, social, spiritual, and the rest of them. We'll take a look each month at one of these dimensions, and then we'll provide some tips and strategies about how we can best implement these tools into our life to help with our wellness. And so here is what the course kind of outlines here. It's discovering wellness. We'll look at what is wellness. We'll define that, and we'll look at how does health and wellness differ. Sometimes people can have that idea in their mind that health and wellness is the same. Well, there's some differences, and we'll look at that. We'll define wellness. We'll look some more at the Samsa's 8 dimensions of wellness. Uh, we'll find out that wellness is a journey. It's not one of those one and done things. It takes work, and it is a journey. And so we'll look at how are we going to get there. There's a toolbox that can help us. It gives us the tools that we need to go on this journey of wellness. There's a toolkit called EAT, and EAT stands for education, awareness, and tools. And so we'll be educated and informed about what wellness is, and we'll be made aware of some of the changes that we might need to implement in our lives, things that we'd like to implement in our lives. And then our toolkit, our toolbox, will give us the tools that we need to help out with our wellness. And so we'll look at this toolkit, and we'll look at this evaluation and assessment. And we can do that right now. There's evaluation and assessment. My sister, she works at a nursing home, and they actually practice wellness there at the nursing home. And so they take what's called this evaluation and assessment, kind of see where the residents are at. And we can do that right now. If you maybe have a pen or a paper, you can write down maybe some things that you'd like to change. And the first thing that we look at is a physical evaluation. And it's good never to bite off too much you can chew. So maybe you just might want to pick one or two things and say, yeah, maybe I'd really like to concentrate and work on that this year. And what's so cool about doing this together is we can have the support of each other. So you don't have to feel like you're doing it alone. A lot of times when we try to take up a task or goal, if we do it alone, sometimes we can get frustrated and throw in the towel. But if we do this together, I think we'll have that support system that I believe we all need. So if here we look at this physical evaluation. Physical evaluation. This is, like I said, this is what my sister gives to those residents at the nursing home. So you might see some things that particularly apply to the nursing home residents. Like here it talks about falling, prevent fallings from occurring. Well, some of us might not be up there in the age where we're more prone to fall, but that we could be. We could be. And so if you just maybe want to take a look at some of these and maybe just mark it down, say, yeah, maybe that's something I'd like to concentrate and look at for my physical wellness. This is for physical here. Maybe you'd like to jot that down. And so I can read those off here. One is I eat a balanced nutritional diet. Well, that could be difficult. I'm trying to implement some of those changes in my life. I took some baby carrots to work the other day instead of a bag of potato chips. So, like I said, wellness isn't about just this structured discipline. It's about being made aware of it and then trying to practice some of these things. We have the same saying in wellness. Is this progress, not perfection. It's these little steps. Don't beat yourself up if you eat some chips, one day out of the week or whatever it is. It's small steps to get there, to look at our different areas of wellness. So the first is I eat a balanced nutritional diet. Well, you can mark it as a 1, as never, a 2 as sometimes, a 3 as usually, a 4 as always. I'd probably be at the 2 right now. I exercise at least 3 times per week. Well, that I have been trying to implement. I take walks, especially. It kind of depends on how the week is, but I find that walking not only helps me physically, but it also helps me mentally, emotionally. You might be the same way that you like going for a walk and it just kind of clears your mind. And that's what's so cool about wellness is you get to see this interdependence. So yes, it helps me physically, but also helps me emotionally or mentally. That mental and physical wellness, and so you see all these things interlap. They interconnect, and that's, like I said, that's what's so cool about wellness is you get to see how these things are involved and are interdependent upon each other. I take responsibility for my physical health. 1, never. 2, sometimes. 3, usually. 4, always. And I was thinking about that question, and sometimes I could be going to the doctor. Well, for me, I don't, I don't know what it is. I don't see the doctors probably as I should. I really don't. It's probably been a while, and it probably wouldn't hurt to get a checkup. So that could be one of the things about taking responsibility, that we are responsible for our own self-care and wellness. Nobody's going to force me to the doctor. Hopefully, unless something happens, they put me in the ambulance. But I am responsible for my own physical health, and so we can look at that too. I know how to prevent falls from occurring. Well, like I said, that's probably more towards the nursing homes and nursing residents, but I like to engage in brisk walks. We kind of talked about that about exercising, but there's more to exercise than just walking. So maybe there's something that you'd like to do specifically for your physical well-being, some type of exercise. It could be yoga. It could be yoga. A lot of people like yoga. I have an annual checkup. Here we go about the doctor. That's kind of talked about and responsibility there. I'm caught up on all my vaccinations. Well, that's a personal choice. I know that there's vaccinations available and all that, but maybe that's something that you feel strongly about and say, yes, I'm behind on what I need to do, medicines or vaccinations, whatever it might be. I manage stress in a way that works for me. I manage stress in a way that works for me.
Hey, what are you doing?
That's
What are you doing?
Not much. Just sitting around, pretending
that's.
to be
Hey,
pretending.
sorry.
I thought I had maybe
Hey,
a
sorry I
co-host on
didn't
here.
answer your call last night. I was actually at the fire station.
One second. I got somebody I got to
Oh yeah, you got back to the fire
mute
station.
here. Uh,
Yeah, I've been going and doing that like every week.
oh, can't find
Good
my.
deal. I know you excited to get back to that.
There's no mute
Because
button on here.
I don't do a whole lot of calls, especially medical calls right now.
One second.
COVID yet,
Yeah.
and I got to be careful. But I'm running fire calls like crazy.
Good deal.
I need a
I know you
co-host
like
on
It's
here.
that.
almost 10 o'clock. Yeah, dude, it was almost 10 o'clock when we got done last night. I was like,
Where's-
man, I was going to call you, but then I was scared that it would be
One
too
second.
late. So I was like, man, I'll call it tomorrow.
There we go. All right, I apologize for that. All right, like I said, we're still learning some of the buttons and whistles here. Let's see. Caught up on my vaccination. I manage stress in a way that works for me. From looking at wellness and some of the things that I've implemented in the past, I found that teas and they actually have herbal supplements and things we could use to help our stress. For me, I found breathing like we did at the beginning, practicing the pause, and even these teas that I drink. A lot of them can help reduce anxiety and stress. So maybe that's something that you might want to try. I manage stress in a way that works for me. How does managing stress work for you? What does that look like? Maybe that's something that you'd like to take a look at. You could jot down. I maintain a desirable weight. That's something that I might try to look at this year. Maybe through exercise or my eating habits. Maintain a desirable weight. How do you feel? A lot of times the way we feel depends on what we put in our body and all that. I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Well, that's what I talked about earlier. That I didn't sleep all that well last night. I didn't get my 7 to 8 hours. My mind was active and all that. And so instead of getting on my phone like I did last night, maybe I could have got up and walked around or practiced meditation or drank some tea. That might have helped me get back to sleep instead of being on my phone, instead of having that as the go-to. And so that's just physical evaluation. And so you could kind of add up your score and look at those numbers. And like I said, maybe just kind of see where you're at with physical wellness. Maybe there's some things that you'd like to implement and change. All right. And then our spiritual evaluation, our spiritual wellness. We take a look at that. Uh, I have faith in a higher power. I have a sense of purpose in my life. Wellness is really in tune to looking at our meaning and purpose, our values, our belief system. Do we live up to our belief system or our values? This is all part of spiritual evaluation. I take time to enjoy nature and beauty around me, and that's what I did in the woods just the other day. I saw this little stream, this little miniature waterfall, and I just took time to pause and thanked a higher power for allowing me to be there to be aware of and be mindful of that stream. That's what spiritual wellness can look at. Do we take time, in our week or whatever it may be, to look at our spiritual wellness? Engage in some type of reflective growth on a regular basis, prayer and meditation. Just like as we opened up with that breath, that could be a part of your meditation or prayer. Just practicing the pause. I engage in acts of caring and goodwill. That's a good to do too. Looking at ways we can serve in our community and care for others and all those good things. I'm concerned about humanity. another part of spiritual wellness. I have a general sense of peace and serenity. A lot of times I can kind of sense, being in balance or out of balance by by peace and serenity. In my experience, peace and serenity, or am I always under stress, or does something just kind of seem out of balance? A lot of times if I feel like that, I can look at my spiritual wellness and see, okay, what am I implementing for my spiritual wellness? I live my life in a way that reflects my values. We just talked about that. I live my life to the fullest. I am understanding of and try to learn about others' beliefs and values, especially those different than my own. And so that can all go into spiritual wellness. And so we looked at physical wellness. That was spiritual wellness, evaluation of it. And hopefully you're maybe writing down some things that maybe you'd like to look at or consider as we take this journey into wellness, some things that you'd like to see grow in your own life. This is an individual journey. So you can kind of sense where you're at with some of these things. Emotional evaluation. We look at that. First is I have a sense of control in my life and I'm able to adapt to change. Sense of control. Do you feel like your life can be out of control sometimes? Do you feel like your emotions might be running the show, that you fall victim or prey to your emotions, that they have more of a grip on you than you'd like for them to? Well, wellness can take a look at that and try to balance out some of those emotions, some things that you might be able to implement, some tools that might be able to help get you more on an even kilter. I have a sense of control in my life and able to adapt to change. And spiritual wellness can look into that too, about acceptance. Where are you with accepting change? I am able to comfort or console myself when I am troubled. I am able to comfort or console myself when I am troubled, just like some of those tools we've been looking at, whether it's drinking the tea, it helps me with some of my stress and whatnot. I kind of know some of the things I can do to help comfort me and console me when I'm troubled. Resolving issues is how I grow emotionally. Instead of avoiding issues, you can look at resolving issues, taking responsibility for those things that you'd like to see changed, or uh, looking at relationships you like to mend, or whatever it might be. I feel good about myself. Do you have a positive sense of self worth where you feel good about yourself? Do you feel confident and just have this good feeling about yourself when you look in the mirror? Say, yes, I'm proud of who I'm becoming. And that has a lot to do with wellness. It's who you are becoming. This potential. You're moving forward. You're progressing into your purpose and mission and meaning for life. I feel good about myself. I have fun and can laugh at myself. I use humor often. A lot of times I laugh at myself for some mistakes or some things I might have. I can laugh at myself today. I don't take myself too seriously. I think that's good to do. You can have fun and you can laugh at yourself and laugh with others. Uh, Others would describe me as emotionally stable and well adjusted. Do you think other people would say that you're emotionally stable and well adjusted, that you're able to handle life as it comes at you, and you stay pretty much even kiltered, not too much highs and too many lows? Recovery, early on recovery, especially, that's my emotional states were all over the place, real highs and real lows. And so as we recover and as we look at our wellness, it helps us to stay more balanced. We can kind of see when we are off balance and how to get back uh, on balance. I am able to recognize and express my feelings. Are you able to share with others about how you feel and be honest with how you feel? Just like I opened up our talk today about me not sleeping well and how it kind of affected the rest of my feeling. I didn't feel all that well, and I saw that was part of it. And so I tried to get back on balance as best as I could by drinking tea and meditating and listening to meditative music, just calming myself. That has a lot to do, I think, with how we feel. Are we able to be honest and express our feelings about where we're at and talk about that with others, about where you're at with your feelings? I enjoy my life. Can you say you enjoy your life today? If you wake up to enjoy the day, that's another part of wellness. The universal law of esprit is what it's called. This joy of life. You enjoy living. You enjoy what the day holds. I am proud of the work that I did and feel satisfied with my career. I think it's so good when we lay down our head on the pillow at night that we can feel satisfied that, yes, I did a good job. I did my best. I did my best. I'm not afraid of what the future brings. Not afraid of what the future brings. You know that you're doing your best, and that's all you can do. And you've had this acceptance in your life that you're not afraid of what the future brings. As you continue to do the right thing, that's all part of emotional well-being. And so maybe you've seen some things there in your emotional well-being that you've marked down and said, yeah, I'd like to maybe look at that, and maybe I'd like to concentrate on that as we move to the wellness journey. Next is intellectual wellness. Intellectual wellness, and like I said, a lot of these are all interdependent. These are all interdependent. They all coincide with each other about how we feel and our own personal well-being. Intellectual evaluation looks at learning new skills and information. Are you learning something new? Do you enjoy learning stuff new? I like to read. Uh, I'm not the best reader. I can't say it brings me the most enjoyment, but I like learning new stuff, and reading books is a good way to do it. Maybe for you, it's looking at documentaries. Like I said, this is all personal. How do you learn best? And I think the main point is just that we are learning, that we're learning new skills and information. Maybe you're learning new skills. Maybe you're want to learn how to cook. Maybe you want to be a better cook. Maybe that's some new skills that you can learn or pursue. Maybe you'd like to be more creative, and you want to learn a new hobby like painting. My aunt has been painting since November. She's still continuing on. I think she's on painting number 31 or 32. She started in November, and she's been doing a painting every day. And I tell you what, it's really impressed me. And she sent me a painting in the mail. Hopefully I'll receive it pretty soon. But are we learning new skills and information? What are you doing to pursue that? Learning new hobbies or gaining more information. Like I said, that can look differently to each one of us. My prior work and intellectual pursuits reflect my values. My prior work and intellectual pursuits reflect my values. I find that it's best to learn what I'm interested in. That's one of the troubles that I had in school. If I didn't really like what I was learning, I'd kind of not pay much attention to it. And so it's good to find out what are your interests. What are your interests? Do they reflect your values? I enjoy participating in hobbies. Do you find that you have some hobbies that you can implement in your week? What's the you gotta have some play along with your work, right? It can't be all just work. What type of hobbies are you engaged in? I hope that you at least have one or two that you can engage in pretty regularly. And so maybe that's one of the things that you might want to look at. What type of hobbies are you implementing? So it's not just all work. I play games that challenge my mind. That's a good way to stimulate our minds. If it's like a muscle, our minds are muscles. We don't use it. It's going to kind of go sour. Especially as we get up there in age. It's good to play those mind games. You can find those online or board games. Maybe playing board games with your child, like Scrabble or whatever it might be. I use technology at least one time per week. At least one time per week. So technology is not all bad. Well, technology can be used for good. That's what we're doing right now, and even with this virus that's been going on, technology, a lot of good has come from that. It's helped a lot of people. Are you learning more about technology? I've had to learn about the Zoom and all that and implement it. And I'm thankful for somebody that chimed in earlier saying that my mic was mute. my mic was muted for a good portion of the time. So I am grateful for technology. Are you learning more about technology and how to use it? Maybe that's one thing you might want to look at is growing in technology. How to use it. I read one or more books or magazines per month. I said that's good to read and stay engaged and read about something that you like. I search for lifelong learning opportunities and stimulating mental activities. I search for lifelong learning opportunities and stimulating mental activities. Are you looking for that thing? Maybe it's going to the library. The library offers a lot of good tools and even some classes. I've noticed that here in Wilkes, they've got classes and things that they teach at the library. Maybe that's something that you'd like to like to do, or even this, right? This is part of learning. We're learning about wellness together. I try to keep abreast of current affairs locally, nationally, and globally. It's good to be informed and know what's going on around us. I find it, especially in the community, I like to find out what's going on locally here in the community and try to be a part of that. I enjoy attending lectures, plays, musical performance, museums, galleries, and or libraries. Yeah, I like to. I'm in a band and do the music, but I like to go and see other people play as well, and even going to see museums and stuff when they open up. Just learning about different cultures and everything. That's one way we can uh, practice this intellectual wellness and grow in intellectual wellness. I enjoy engaging in intellectual discussions. Do you like having good discussions with friends and other people about some of the things that you're interested in? It's good to have those discussions, even people of different opinions. You know, that can cause a lot of growth too. It's not people necessarily agree with you on everything, but people that do see the world and things differently from you. So that's a good way for to grow intellectually and our intellectual wellness. So maybe you've seen some things there that you'd like to jot down. Maybe some things that you'd like to grow in. Just make a side note. As you write down, say, yeah, I'd like to look at and look at that for my wellness and well-being. Next is social, and this isn't covering all the 8. This is just a few, like I said, that my sister uses for the nursing home for the residents there, for them to look at, and so this kind of just gives us an idea of what some of these things look like for our well-being, and that's all we want to do is just kind of get this overview, this general idea of what wellness looks like. Uh, this is a social evaluation for wellness. I have at least 3 people with whom I have close and trusting relationship. Do you have at least 3 people that you can confide in, that you talk to, that you can share with about what's going on in your life? People that you trust. Do you have that close circle of friends? I hope that you do. I hope that we all do, and maybe that's something that you'd like to look at is maybe growing those relationships. Maybe that's calling more, or maybe even writing a letter. Whatever works best for you to grow those relationships. Maybe that's something that you'd like to take a look at for your social wellness. I am generally able to resolve conflicts with my relationships. That can look at that can be all several different things. You know, maybe you always have to be right. Maybe you always have to get the right word. Maybe that's something that you want to work on there. Resolving conflicts with your relationships. I have a adequate support system for all areas of my life, and we in the recovery community know that that's essential. That it's essential for our well-being and wellness is to have that support. To have that support. You know, and maybe that's something that you want to look at too. Is maybe you want to go to more of your meetings, or how do you receive that support for your recovery? Maybe you want to look at doing that more for your social wellness. You want to increase your support. Uh, Maybe that's something like you've seen that has been lacking. I'm aware of and able to set and respect my own and others' boundaries, and that's important too, especially in recovery. We've seen that boundaries are so important uh, to set those healthy boundaries, and we'll look at that too more in wellness. Is how do you set those boundaries? What does that look like? What does that look like for you? I have a sense of belonging to a group or within organizations. Oh, doesn't it feel so good to know that you belong? You know, and when I was drinking and drugging and uh, using substances, I was always looking for where I belonged, and I found, you know, a sense of belonging in using substances with others. But when I recovered, I had to find another way, another area to belong to, and I finally found my niche. I finally found my niche among other people who are in recovery, doing the same thing that I was. They were intentional, and they set their mind to recovery and committed to recovery. And so I hope that we all have that sense of belonging to a group, and that can look like not only with your recovery group, that could be other groups that you might be affiliated with or a part of, other community organizations, whether it be a church or maybe a book club, wherever you feel that sense of belonging. Maybe you want to look at that for your personal well-being, is the social well-being of finding a group. Maybe you want to be a part of something more. You want to be a part, and maybe you want to look at that. Maybe that's something you could jot down. I enjoy traveling and learning about other cultures. And that's something that I personally want want to look at. Since I've been learning this wellness, I found out that other cultures are engaged in their wellness, and some of it looks a little bit different from what we do here in the Western side of the world, or Western culture, and so maybe that's something that you want to look at, maybe even traveling. Maybe that's something that you'd like to do. Maybe you'd like to not only read about these places, but maybe go and explore these places. Maybe that's something that you'd like to jot down. I generally like people, and they like me. I think you're well liked. People want to be around you. They confide in you. They want to talk to you. I generally like people. Do you like being around people too? I found in recovery one of the things that is detrimental to my wellness is isolation. Oh, I've got to be around people. I've got to, try to be around people and call people, have some type of connection with others. That's crucial for recovery, I believe, is connection. I generally like people, and they like me. I like trying new things. Maybe it's been a while since you've tried something new. Maybe that's something that you'd like to do. Maybe something that's come to your mind since we've been talking, and you say, "Yeah, I'd like to try something new," and maybe you want to jot that down. Yeah, I'd like to try this. I'd like to try it. Maybe you'd like to jot that down. I like people, and they like me. I've already done that. I think they've got it twice up there. I enjoy socializing at group events. Do you find yourself engaging more? I know social anxiety can run amok, especially in my life, and I've tried to grow in that area for wellness and make attempts. Just saying hello or introducing yourself. I had to start small, and a lot of times that's what we have to do is just those small steps. Enjoy socializing at group events, and for me to be able to socialize at group events, that means I need to go to group events. So maybe we've looked at that and say, yeah, maybe I need to be a part of more group events. Maybe that will help me to grow in that area. I enjoy spending time volunteering. Is there a place that you regularly volunteer? Maybe you'd like to look at that. There's several places in Wilkes. I go once a month to there to Samaritan's Kitchen, and we volunteer over there packing boxes and all that good stuff there. So volunteering. I think it's good to serve and to give back, and that can help us feel this sense of well-being and give us wellness in our life. And so hopefully that's kind of giving you a overlook of just some few areas there of wellness in your own life. And maybe you've jotted down some things, and like I said, I'd like to take this journey together that we can have each other's support and be able to do these things and to take this journey together, learning about what wellness is. And so that was just to give you some type of idea about some of these areas of wellness in our own life, some of these our own dimensions. Don Ardle, he's the writer of the book High Level Wellness. He says that attention to lifestyle, and that's what wellness is. It's a lifestyle. It's this way of living. He says attention to lifestyle and environment offers the most rewarding path to improved levels of health. It's the only way to reduce the staggering cost burden of American medicine, and the best way for you to reduce your chances of premature aging and unnecessary suffering from degenerative disease. And that's what wellness really looks at. It's preventative. It's not waiting until after you have all these issues, but to go ahead and implementing these things into our lives now that will help reduce suffering and the high cost of American medicine by looking at these things, what we can do to prevent some of these health issues that we might have because of not living a lifestyle that's focused on wellness. And so he says attention to our lifestyle will help us. It'll give us this rewarding path to improved levels of health. He continues saying that wellness initiatives in one area of your life, and this is why I want you to get here, wellness initiatives in one area of your life. And so just doing one thing in one area of your life, one thing will reinforce health enhancing behaviors in other areas. And so it's like a snowball effect, right? Once I am aware of one thing that needs to be changed in my life in one area of my life, it can bleed into or go into these other areas of my life. That's what awareness does. That's what's so powerful about wellness. is, you know, it makes me aware and conscious of one thing, and then it can lead into other areas. So for instance, if you take up jogging and you stay with it for a week, or if you develop a meditation technique or other relaxation skill, or if you do one of hundred of possible things appropriate to your unique pace and preferences that make you feel more alive and vigorous, this effort will carry over. It will sustain and motivate you to pursue other dimensions of high level wellness. And I found that true in my own life. I found that true in my own life. You know, it might look, it can look different for you. You know, I remember my sponsor, he had told me, you know, early on in recovery, not to do too many things. You know, I wanted to give up smoking, and I wanted to give up drinking coffee and all this. And he just pretty much had to pull back the reins and say, whoa, 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 let's just do this thing one at a time, one at a time. And so wellness, you know, is pretty much, you know, shows us that on the same playing field that, hey, we don't need to bite off more than we can chew, but just doing one thing, one area in your life, maybe one thing that you want to focus on, can lead into others over time. And the more positive things you do for your body, the fewer negative things like smoking you will want to do against it. And I found that true in my own life. I have. I've put down some habits I carried along for a long time. But I found out that I could do it. I could do it, and you can too. And that's what wellness says: is we can progress. We can move ahead. We can become the person that we want to be. We can do that. We can do it. Wellness helps us to do that, and these tools and stuff helps us to do those things. We're just becoming aware of it. Like I said, it can bleed into our other areas of life. It's even possible to be well in the midst of illness and dying. And see, that's where health and wellness differentiate. You know, we think that health is being absence without disease or illness. Wellness, you can still be well in the midst of illness and dying. You can learn to interpret illness as a message from within. And that's what I found out when I wasn't feeling good today with the lack of sleep. I found out, hey, there's some things that was missing. I needed to rebalance. You can learn to interpret illness as a message from within, a signal that some aspect of your life deserves attention and reform. That's what's so cool is our body gives us signals, its messages to us that, hey, something needs to be looked at. Something needs our awareness. Similarly, you can learn to accept the eventuality of your own mortality and experience the dying process as another aspect of human reality. That's what's so cool about wellness too, is it helps us to see humanness. It helps us to live life on life's terms. If you do this, neither illness nor the acceptance of eventual death will inhibit your acceptance of life and the treasuring of optimal good health that will enable you to achieve the fullest existence within your potential. Within your potential. For there is always illness and death is in wellness and life, and in the last analysis, the ratio between birth and death will be 1 to 1. And so this is just, you know, some of the books, some of the reading that I've been doing recently on wellness. You know, I know I've got a lot more to learn. You know, wellness is a broad topic. It seems like there's a lot to it. There's a lot more than what I previously, you know, understood. And you know, I'm trying to learn, and I think we can do this together. We can learn about wellness. What is wellness? We can learn about that together. A state of high level wellness is within reach of all. So it's within your reach. It's within my reach. A high state of wellness is within reach of all. A wellness lifestyle, like I said, it's a lifestyle, will not only drastically reduce your risk of illness or disease, which I think we all want, it will provide for you a life of greater satisfactions, increased serenity, and expanded interest in the future. And that's what, you know, recovery has given me. And I think recovery is you know, it's intermingled with wellness. You know, we take responsibility for our wellness and all the satisfactions that we get out of that. We get serenity and we get this expanded interest in the future. I'm excited about living life. I'm excited about what I'm doing. And that's all part of wellness there. And many wonderful possibilities. You know, and you know, this really helped me, you know, with my understanding of researching wellness. Here is this quote that, you know, we don't have to have it all figured out. We don't have to have it all figured out. We do this thing one step at a time, you know, one day at a time, one little piece, you know, and wellness, you know, if we just learn one little thing, you know, hopefully you've learned some things so far today that, you know, that's giving you a broader understanding of wellness. And Ardell says this, that I do not believe there's a single cause of wellness. or any one thing you can do to get into it, or a course or a book. So this course is not necessarily just going to hand it to you and put it in your lap. It's going to take work. It's not just a single cause of wellness or one thing you can do to get into it, or a course or a book that alone will motivate you and point the way. No part of the brain can be localized and stimulated to turn you on to wellness. And this was so key to me. So he says, so please stop looking right now for a button to be pushed, or, as I figuratively noted, a benevolent lightning bolt or two waiting to fall. It's not going to be there. It's not going to happen. What he came to realize is that that he used as a unifying theme is that wellness consists of many wonderful possibilities, and that you can come at it whatever direction you choose. And so you really do, you get some insight and awareness of some things that you might want to look at and to change and to grow in. You know, this is all part of growth. Wellness is growing. It's about becoming. And so, you know, we looked at the objectives, you know, some of the things that we'd like to take a look at. We looked at the evaluation. And like I said, hopefully you've marked down some of the things that you'd like to take a closer look at. And what better time to do it than the beginning of the year? And you know, we do this thing together. It's a support. You know, it's not tackling, you know, more we can chew at one time. Like I said, just one thing can lead into other areas of wellness for your life. And so we've looked at the objectives, and these are some things that we'll take a look as we go along this journey. We'll define wellness. We'll define wellness, and we'll see really how health and wellness differentiate. What separates health and wellness, if there is any. We'll take a look at that. What's the difference between health and wellness? And we'll define wellness more as we go along. We'll really, you know, kind of examine it and dissect it and see what exactly is wellness. We'll take a look again more at the 8 dimensions of wellness that SAMHSA has, and that us at Wilkes Recovery Revolution and the Recovery Center follow. We follow this 8 dimension of wellness, the SAMHSA's 8 dimension of wellness. We'll see more as we go along that wellness is a journey. It's a journey. It's a one step at a time. You know, it's doing this thing together. Wellness is a journey. And we'll look at how we get there with this wellness toolbox and some of the other tools and in our toolkit. Remember, the toolkit is educate, eat. It's educate, awareness, and tools. So we want to bring all 3 of those into our understanding of wellness: education, awareness, and our tools. And we'll look some more about these evaluations, assessment, and kind of see how we are growing, how we are progressing in our wellness. Are we growing and becoming who we want to be, like wellness shows us we can do? And we'll also look maybe at some future possible programs that maybe we at the R3 Recovery Center can do to help you on your journey. And I hope this will be a part of your journey there into wellness, that you'll continue to learn and be able to implement these wellness principles into your life. And so I think that's a good place to stop. And I hope that you all have learned maybe a little bit more about wellness, and that you plan to continue to go ahead with us as we take this journey together. And I think it'd be good just to practice the pause there at the end too. And we can do that any time of the day, any place that we might be at. We can just breathe in and release, let go. And I hope that maybe some of these, like I said, these principles of wellness, some part of these dimensions that we've taken a look at, maybe that you've written down and you'd like to implement as we move ahead. Again, I thank you for being here, and I thank you for having a concern for your own wellness, and you choosing to look more into wellness with us as we take this journey into a healthier you. So thank you again for being a part and being here and being present and practicing the pause with Phil. And I hope that you will join us next time. Look forward to see you next time as we continue to move ahead in this journey. Take care and be well. Bye-bye.